it came to registering to vote, probably about 10,000 or so registered to vote out of those 300,000 Kenyans. There are about 2 or 3 polling stations. And even then, when it came to the actual voting itself, I don't think 3,000 Kenyans voted in 2022. So let me begin by saying this to you. And even we, as the leaders or aspiring leaders, we can't love your money and the remittances that you're making, but we don't love your contribution. My first challenge to you, wonderful people, is that you need to participate in electing the leaders of Kenya, so that then you can hold people to account. So because I'm a presidential candidate, I took it upon myself to begin conversations with people on how we can make this happen. And this morning I was talking to the people at the mission, and Mr. Mwaura, we agreed that you are going to form a small team that brings together leaders and representatives from other cities in the US, so that we can complete a proposal on how we can increase the polling stations in the US from the current 3 to 10 or 15, and then begin a process of sensitizing the Kenyans who are here to participate in the electoral process. Because, my brothers and sisters, whatever we do, unless we are participating in making that decision on who is going to make decisions for us, I mean, what are we going to talk about if you are not participating? We can only whine and dine and complain about it. And I'm going to tell people in Nairobi, for instance, that if the middle class in Kenya actually wanted to change the country, they can change the country. Going to Karen Club and having drinks at Karen Club is good, but it will not get us to where we want to go. Participating in the process will get us there. We can stay on X, it's a good forum, we can engage, yes, but voting, actually voting and going to vote makes a difference, because that way then you'll be able to take decisions that affect the way in which your country is managed. So my challenge to you, leaders, is that please follow up on this discussion we had with people at the mission to complete a proposal that will be looked at by the IEBC on front. As leaders who are outside of government, we have already started a process of both petitioning the IEBC and also with a perspective of going to court if need be, to see to it that we have more polling stations here in the US so that you guys can vote. Because it's not, if there was a polling station here tonight in Baltimore, there are more people here who would vote than all those who voted in 2022 from the US in the first place. So this is something I think we need to work on. That's where we need to start from in terms of our participation and so on. So let me go to my brief remarks tonight, and then I am looking forward more to interacting with you and answering questions and giving you my perspectives. And Kathy, I'm going to answer your questions, the ones you asked me about my experience in public service and what I think I'll do differently, as it were. Now, there's nothing wrong with our country. That's where I'll begin. I am one of those people who had the privilege of serving my country in the position of a cabinet minister for 10 years, 2 terms with President Uhuru Kenyatta. That was one of the best times in my life. With all the challenges and the crises, in the Ministry of Interior, for example, 2/3 of the time you operate on adrenaline. Because you sleep with phones on either side of your bed. There's no single night that you'll go through the night without those phones ringing, and none of them calls you to wish you happy birthday or to wish you a good night's sleep. It's a crisis after crisis after crisis. A dam has burst out in Solai, in Nakuru, and it has swept down families. Nobody knows, even at that time when the regional commission doesn't know how many families have been swept down. And that is 11 o'clock at night. From then on, there's no night for you because you have got to gather the country together and make, decisions. some crazy fellows have probably crossed the border and we have been tracing them and we have lost them. And chances are that they are likely to be terrorists and nobody can trace them. We have lost them a bit somewhere between one point of the border and another. You cannot go to sleep because you don't know where they are headed. Because if they get there before you get them, you know what's going to happen. So have the time. That is the kind of life that you lead. But I want to say this, and this is my testimony. I say this very sincerely from the bottom of my heart. I thank the Lord for every minute, every hour I served. And as I said, it's the best time in my life. We were not, we were not the most, perfect or ideal group of people, but by God's grace, we were able to do much. And then I got to know the country in ways I never knew it before.